Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger, a member of the House Foreign Relations Committee. Congressman, good to see you today. Your reaction to the vote?
It was actually way bigger than I thought. She ought to be a little nervous. She won handily. You know, you got to give that to her. But there was a significant part of the Democratic minority that basically said we're going to try to go with different leadership. So I think if I was Nancy Pelosi, or if I was advising her, which I'm sure she's not going to ask for my advice, I'd say you need to listen to what those people are saying and figure out, you know, from a Democratic perspective, why Trump was able to reach a lot of your voters. And it looks like they're sticking with the same leaders and maybe the same message. We'll see. Well,
so much, was made after the 2012 election about doing a GOP autopsy. Do you think the Democrats are going to engage in that kind of in-depth analysis? Because we've heard many members afterwards talking about, we don't know how they voted, but some who apparently don't sound real supportive. The House Minority Leader saying, listen, we're not getting it. If we don't change the topics and the things that we're talking about, America just not going to care.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have to. Again, it's, what you've had is a Democratic Party that's basically become the party of California. And it's great in California, for some people. But when it comes to the mainstream America, they've been out of touch. And so a young leader like Mr. Ryan, who ran, and then you have a lot of young Democrats, frankly, to come together and try to figure out how to rebrand their party or what they're missing would be important for them. But not that I'm cheering for their success or anything like that.
Well, something tells me you guys are going to butt heads over a few things. House Speaker Paul Ryan has laid out a few priorities. One of them is Obamacare. Here's a bit of what he had to say.
This law is hurting families in America. This law is canceling insurance plans that people wanted. This law is giving people repeated double-digit premium increases. This law is raising deductibles so high it doesn't even feel like you have insurance. So we have to bring Obamacare relief as fast as we possibly can in 2017, and that is our plan.
What does that mean? Does it mean delaying parts of it, repealing it outright, trying to work with the current framework? I mean, it's obviously very complex. You all have passed a number of measures aimed at, making changes. What's the strategy?
Well, we're trying to figure that out exactly. We want to repeal this law, but we also want to replace it with something that makes sense, that's consumer friendly, that doesn't lead to the calls I've been getting from folks in my district talking about the skyrocketing premiums and deductibles. And so, what does that look like? I think we're going to repeal a good part of this law, what we can, through a process called reconciliation, and then we have to have that replacement plan ready to go. But we're going to be working with the Trump administration, with the Senate side, to figure out, exactly how do we do this, what gets done. But there is no doubt that this is at least number 1 or 2 on our priorities, and you're going to see action on it very quickly when we come back in January.
Well, we will be watching, and we're losing a House colleague if he's confirmed in Congressman Tom Price, obviously a surgeon and a doctor who will move over to head up HHS if he's successful in his confirmation process, and that may be a help, I guess, as you wade through this as well. Congressman Kinzinger, good to see you today.
You too.